Hello there, welcome to the WP Builds Contribute episode. This is a new one and it's all about how to do things with a Chromebook, how to build websites and kind of get rid of your Mac and your PC and just start to do everything with a Chromebook instead. It's a bit of a beguiling idea. I'm really into it. And Lance Howell is here all the way from Arkansas. It's really early in the morning. Sorry to get you up, but we've got him on because he wrote me an email saying, I've kind of for a couple of years now been using a Chromebook, decided to ditch the Windows PC and see how much of it I can do on a Chromebook. And the answer is these days, quite a lot. So hello, Lance.
Hey, it's nice to be here.
Good. Yeah, it's nice to have you. We're on the second attempt at recording this because it went wrong a moment ago. So let's go for it this time. So Chromebooks, they've been around for ages. My sort of thought is that most people would reject them out of hand and say they're not powerful enough, they don't do enough, there's a whole lot of limitations. But you're not finding that to be the case, and you're going to go through a bunch of things that they do. They do Android apps. Everything's online, so if you chuck it in the bin and get a new one, you can be back up and running in a matter of minutes. But what have you got as your little stack of things that you use to use a Chromebook?
Some of the things I use are the normal everyday things you'd think to use with a Chromebook, such as Google Docs and the Google applications, Google Sheets, Google Slides for presenting, and everything there is stored in Google Drive. And whenever you buy a Chromebook, one of the nice things is you get them like 100 gigs of storage right off the bat. So
it's a really different paradigm, isn't it? The idea is that instead of having a hard disk in your computer, you have a hard disk somewhere else and you pay a monthly subscription. I pay Google for 100 gigabytes and I'm very happy with the product, and Google Drive works absolutely flawlessly for me.
And the Chromebooks are designed to be used online. That's why they don't usually come with a lot of storage as far as hard drive goes. Just the basics, 32 or 64 gigs of storage, which is so far plenty to do some quick editing and then get it off of the actual hard drive and store it onto Google Google Drive. And
the thing that I think most people struggle with, though, is the idea that there's enough power and there's enough applications to do all of the things that a web developer uses. You know, the idea has been for ages, well, if it's just your grandmother or something who's occasionally browsing the internet, well, a Chromebook's perfect. Do the email, read, look at the newspaper and all of those kind of things. But can it do web development work? And you seem to think it can. So yeah, let's go through them.
Some of the tools I use is, of course, WordPress.
Do you want to share your screen, by the way? You'll have to click. Yeah, share your screen and we'll get that going. Oh, yeah. Interestingly, whilst he's beginning to share his screen, this platform for recording is online. I use a platform called Big Marker. So Lance's screen that you can now see, that's a Chromebook being recorded via an online platform called Big Marker. So interesting, really interesting. It just looks like Windows to me, that almost exactly with the positioning of the buttons and everything.
Yeah, and as you can see, as I opened up the Sheriff Chromebook Sheriff drawer, it looks like your Android phone.
It really does. It really does look like Android.
Several of the applications that I have currently on here.
Yeah, look at that. That really does look like my Android phone, just sort of spread out with much more space between the icons.
And you can if you don't know exactly what you want to search for, you can just start typing in your stuff. And it shows suggestions. It also shows them websites that may be of interest to you.
Yeah.
And all. So
we know that Google is amazingly good at search, so they get that right, don't they? Whenever I type in on my Android phone, it invariably gets what I want. You know, whether that's an application or whether it's a search for something, it kind of knows and shows me a whole range of options. Right. Yeah. So there's WordPress. We can see WordPress there. Anyway.
Right. This is WordPress. Some of the tools that I use in WordPress that really get the job done is custom fields, ACF and pods. I go between the two sometimes and all, and develop different post types and stuff to get things done. Which is very useful and helpful. And plus, advanced custom fields is stupidly cheap.
Yes.
As far as that goes. And with the new page builders now integrating ACF into their platforms.
Yeah.
It's even gotten easier to use them. Advanced custom fields. And
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
As far as dynamic data and stuff like that goes, which I love.
So we're using WordPress. We're using things like advanced custom fields. Sorry, I'm just going to keep looking over there because there's your list. But the first one on the list, apart from WordPress, this is for development purposes. You use something called Keywords Everywhere. I think that's the one we can see under your mouse. That's like a keyword research tool, is it? An online keyword research tool?
Right. This is an Chrome extension.
Right. Chrome extension.
You can install, and what it does is whenever you search for a keyword you may want to write about or a topic you may want to blog about, you can search for the topic and find out how hard it is to achieve ranking for those keywords.
Okay, I think I can see it there. So that's it. You've typed in dog washing, and underneath the actual search, it's showing you the sort of like the cost per click and the you know how many people are searching for it, and then also it's putting things into the sidebar there, if you like, as well.
It puts some related keywords that you may want to do additional articles about.
Got it.
And it also sometimes shows them what other people have been searching for, and all. And it also at the bottom shows related searches and gives those statistics also.
Very cool. So that's a nice extension that you can throw into Chrome. And if you chuck your laptop or your Chromebook in the bin when you buy a new one, that'll just come straight back in, and you know, you're good to go again. Now, this is a cool one, and I've used this one. The next one, which you may or may not have known about, is that Chrome itself can be used as a remote desktop application. It's all baked into Chrome. We can't really demonstrate this, but it suffices to say that if you've got Chrome running, you can log into somebody else's computer, be that a Mac or a PC, using the browser.
Yep. You can. I can show you the website you can go to.
Maybe yes, good. Yeah, that's probably as far as we can go with it, isn't it? But that's good.
But let me see.
That's it. Chrome Remote Desktop. I remember that's the name of it. Yeah, there you go. That looks like the extension. I'm I'm not sure if you have to have is it an extension you have to include, or is it baked into Chrome already?
Let me see. If you go to remotedesktop.google.com,
Oh, cool.
You'll get this. This is their new version. Their Chrome extension is an older version.
Right, that's the deprecated version, is it?
Right.
Okay.
And you can set up if you're whatever login you're using, it'll show you the available office or computers and all that's available.
Got it.
And you do have to have a host computer, which is either Windows, Mac, or Linux, I think. And you can once it's got a program whenever you set it up that you install on the full desktop, and you can log in that way, and you can also request remote support if you're doing remote support for somebody, or you can.
I've actually used this because I was trying to get a client's SMTP, and they just couldn't get. I think it was Thunderbird or something, or Apple Mail or something, and it didn't matter how many times I told them, "Okay, put this bit in there." No, and so we used this. We used Chrome Remote Desktop, and it was on her Mac. And I was able to take over her Mac and type in all the things and then, get it working and then finally log out. And it was just quicker than trying to do it on the phone. But of course, the great thing about that is that if there's anything missing from Chrome, if there's something which is unachievable in the browser on a Chromebook, and you've got a Windows computer or a Mac running at home, you can just remote desktop into that, achieve it on there, save it into your Google Drive or whatever, and then you've got it. It's done. And that's really neat. There's also a bunch of rivals, isn't there? Like there's TeamViewer. I've got a Chrome extension called TeamViewer, and that allows me to do the same thing. The nice thing about TeamViewer is that you can have that boot on like Windows. It'll boot and start TeamViewer up, so you don't have to sort of authenticate things at both ends. You can just go straight to your Chromebook and make it work from there. So that's good.
Right. The next thing I want to show you is some ColorZilla. This is a Chrome extension also, and it's a color picker, which is a neat program. You can hover over a picture or something on a website, and up at the top, you can click on the color of something, and you can it'll show you what the RGB codes are or hex code is for that color that you're hovering over, and you can just click on it, and it'll copy that color to the clipboard, and you can go into your page that you want to use that color on, and just paste that color code into that color, and it'll automatically load it.
Yep, I've used. I think the one that I've got is something called Eyedropper. Same idea, but yours actually looks a whole lot nicer. And my Chrome extension, Eyedropper, I think it is. It sometimes just fails to load. You'll try to use it, and it just says no. You got to reload the page. And I don't know. I've got a feeling that on heavily JavaScripted pages, that it seems to fail. But yeah, that's cool. I like that. So what's that one called? That one's called ColorZilla.
Yes, ColorZilla. It's pretty cool, and there's more features you can do with it, but that's the basics I use it for.
Yeah.
And and another one is called WhatFont, and I always want to call it What the Font.
Yeah, and I think there is a site called What the Font as well. Yeah,
what this does is you can hover. It's similar to ColorZilla, except for fonts. You can hover over.
I like this
specific font, and it'll give you the name of it. And if you click on it, it'll give you more details, such as the style of the font, if it's normal or bold or whatever. It'll give you the weight of the font.
Very cool.
The line height, and just about anything to geek out on.
Yeah.
And it'll also give you the color of the font, which I just saw.
Which is also cool, yeah. I went yesterday, oddly. I had to discover what a font was, and it was in an image. And I discovered that if you take a screen grab of a part of the screen, let's say, for example, the word testimonials there that you can see on your screen, you can literally take a photo of the word testimonials, obviously, and then you can paste. Well, you upload that photo into this online service. I can't remember. It might be What the Font or whatever, and it'll figure out what the font is from the image. It's really great.
Yeah. And then once you're done with it, you can click on exit, and it'll exit
back to normal. And then what have we got? Scan WP.
This is another Chrome extension. Chrome extensions are really great to use, especially if you don't have them at Chromebook. It'll give you additional functionality and stuff.
Oh, wow, look at that.
What Scan WP does, this is a recent plugin or extension that I just found out about, and it'll tell you the name of the theme if it's got if it knows its name. It'll also tell you if it's a custom theme, and it'll give you the URL of where to get the theme.
Yeah,
and it'll also scan for plugins. And give you as much information as it can find about that plugin.
How cool is that? So you can go to your rival's website and use ScanWP to figure out a little bit about how they built it. What themes did they use? What plugins have they got going on? And I saw there the Divi logo, so it's figured out that plugin is, so it's probably built with the Divi page builder.
Well,
very interesting.
Actually, these plugins right here are on everything, so it's like ads for those.
Oh, okay. So you got to learn to ignore the sponsor bits.
Right.
Okay, fair enough.
But it's great if you want to research on different sites, and you want to if you're trying to do like a video of how they built a site or whatever, you can discover some of the plugins. We
often get posts in the Facebook group, the WP Builds Facebook group, things like, can anybody tell me how they did this? And if so that would help you. If it was a WordPress site, you could kind of figure out, they've used that slider or whatever it was. So that's cool. And
another website that I use is Built With.
Yes.
That's a pretty cool program and all.
Yep.
And then this WPSniffer plugin or extension is just to discover what themes are being used.
Okay, so that's a little bit like ScanWP, but simply for sniffing what plugin what theme they've got going on. Okay, so WP Scan for a whole bunch of stuff. WP Sniffer for figuring out what theme they've used. Cool, yeah. And then you've got some graphics things that you use on your Chromebook to achieve Photoshop-like functionality. Now, nobody's suggesting, and I know for a fact, you can't have Photoshop in a browser. This is not possible. Sure. It's too feature-rich, and there's too much goodness going on. But you can for most of what you might need for the WP Builds podcast icons and things like that. I use an online tool. So your favorite one is called Pixlr.
Yes, Pixlr is pretty interesting.
So it's spelled Pixlr. Is that right? Pixlr.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I think I've seen this in the past, and it looks to me like they've tried to mimic the sort of the UI of the old Photoshop a little bit.
Right. And right now they're doing a new version called Pixlr X, which is to simplify the Pixlr editor interface and all. And to me, it looks like they're really going after the mobile market where it's simple to use, can't do as much or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if they'll keep the full version.
I'm wondering, looking at that page, because it's got a great big Flash logo, I'm wondering if the Pixlr X is going to be, HTML5, for want of a better word, as opposed to Flash, because obviously Flash is going away, ladies and gentlemen. It's dying, and it's going to be dropped. Actually, fresh news is it's going. A lot of the major browsers are getting rid of it and have announced plans for when it's going to go. 2020, basically, it's gone.
Right.
But you can still use that.
That's why I think they're simplifying it, because they can't provide as much functionality straight in the web arena and stuff.
Yep.
But if you've got them, Chromebook, you can download them Photoshop Express, which does pretty much the same thing.
So this is you using the Android app.
Right.
Inside of the Chromebook. So if you've got a Chromebook, you can,
They've also got Lightroom Express, where you can use Lightroom if you're really big into photo editing and managing photos and all. So
great.
The next one I want to show you is the FireShot. It's an extension, and you can use it to capture an entire page of a website. And you've seen some sites where they have their portfolio, and it shows them a real long picture and stuff. This is something you can do with you can either capture the entire page, or you can capture just the visible parts of the page, or a particular section. You can click on that and just screenshot a particular section of the page. If you want to.
Does it actually scroll down as it's doing it? If you wanted to do the entire page, does it sort of, you watch it in real time, sort of scrolling up, and it captures it as it goes? That's cool. I've got I did many. There it is. There it goes. I used a similar tool in the past with limited success. It sometimes worked and it sometimes didn't. It was a Mac app, I think, called Snagit or something like that. That's worked nicely.
The results, and you can either save it as an image or save it as a PDF.
Yeah.
And you can also email it to a particular Gmail, or you can print it off.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, that's great. I like that. FireShot. But then you also use something called Canva for sort of simply creating sort of social media campaigns. I haven't used Canva, but I've used a rival called Stencil, which I think is widely regarded as sort of not quite as good, but pretty similar.
Right.
And it just comes.
You can do stuff like set up Facebook cover art, YouTube cover art. It's got templates for different options. Books, you can do a book cover off of Canva and all.
So it's got like a template, a load of templated sizes, like Facebook ad, or I don't know, Facebook group header, or a YouTube video header or something, and you just click it and you start to play, and it outputs it all for you. Yeah, I've started using an app called Relay That recently, which does something similar. Only it kind of you get less design control, but all of it works. So if you create one image, all the other sizes will work for you. It's a big time saver, but it's not as, you can't be as artistic. But that's okay, because I'm not very artistic.
I saw Lee Jackson's presentation of Relay That, and thought that was pretty neat.
It is. It's really neat, but it's very confined. You can only do a certain amount. But if that's what you need, it works, and it works for every kind of possible shape and size. It's
good for the quick and dirty
images
that you have to do.
Yep. Okay, so that's good. And then we've got these final few, which are all in. We've got like 5 more, which are to do with. Well, actually, some of them we mentioned already, like Google Docs. We've already mentioned, so it's maybe 4. Accounting software. You use online accounting software.
Yes. I use a software called Wave Accounting.
I have a friend, Adam, who was on the podcast recently, and he raves about it. I think he's using their free offering, and he really waxes lyrical about how good it is. But so Wave is your accounting software of choice, and it links with your kind of like spits out all the data that your accountant needs and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah.
It's at waveapp.com.
Waveapp.com. Okay.
And they've got several different packages you can get them. Accounting, invoicing, payments, payrolls, receipts, stuff like that.
Yep.
You just sign in with them, an account that you want to use, and all. You can sign up for free. And here's some of the pricing. The accounting is free, invoicing and receipts, those are free services. Once you get into payments and payroll, you can it'll start costing you some money and stuff.
But for the free software, my understanding is that for most people, that's all you need. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
great.
Unless you've got them staff or whatever that you're doing payroll for. Then accounting's free. You can set up the invoices where you can either set it up where the person pays the invoice right away whenever you send the invoice to the email, or you can have it where you can do a manual payment or whatever, which you can use Stripe or what your normal payment methods for that.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'm happy with what I've got. I don't use Wave, but if you're in the lookout, that seems pretty good. It's free, online, and pretty fully featured. This one I do use, though. The next one, LastPass, for storing all of your... Well, it's not just passwords. It stores everything, doesn't it? And it'll... The crypto is brilliant. The very cleverly done. They have this blob, this mess of data which arrives onto your computer. Your your keys will unlock it. It's never sent in the clear. They don't keep your password. Your password unlocks the blob and stays on your machine. It's brilliant. I use it for keeping credit card details, driver's license, passport, everything, passwords for everything. And it kind of works perfectly inside of Chrome, doesn't it? In that it fills out your form fields for you.
Yep.
It's really good.
And you can just right click on a field and select whatever you want to fill up or whatever, and it'll spit it right out. And
those tedious forms where you're signing up for a service and you got to fill out your name, date of birth, country of residence, and all that. You set up a profile for who you are inside of LastPass, and it'll just fill them all up. Oh, thank you, that's great. And it is really, these days you've got to have a unique password full of junk characters as long as possible, and you're not going to remember those. And LastPass will. So that's good.
And the only bad thing about it is sometimes LastPass is more secure than, or has better security as far as the password complexity than the site does.
Yes.
Sometimes I set up a really insane password length and complexity rules and stuff on the site, and it says, this site is too or that password is too complex for this site.
We'll only accept 16 characters, which is glaring. I mean, I don't know why that would be. If you're going to have a field full of data, just accept any string length, really. Because you're giving some data insight into how long the password field is. If you tell us it's only 16 characters, you've got a bigger attack vector. Google Docs we know about, don't we? We probably all played with Google Docs and spreadsheets and whatnot, and it's perfect it's free. It does everything. It does all of the basics that Microsoft Word will do. It's not got the complexity. But in all honesty, I haven't used Word for years and have opted for Google Docs, and I think they're perfectly adequate for most people's needs.
And
here's an interesting one. Zoom. You've got Zoom on there, and I thought that was a desktop app.
Yes. I've got a Google Play Store app on my Chromebook called Zoom.
Clever.
And it's available for your mobile phones. But I don't know why anybody would do a video conference on a mobile phone. That seems a little counterintuitive and all, but it works great on a Chromebook.
Cool.
And all, so you can do that.
It actually works. The Android app on the Chromebook totally works. You can run a conference, and that's great. That's cool. So you'd still need the subscription. You'd still need the Zoom subscription in the same way, but you can actually do it. You can run everything through the Android app on the Chrome browser. That's cool to know.
Right. And of course, Google Hangouts. For quick video conferences, in case the other person doesn't have Zoom or whatever.
It's just like this, basically, isn't it? You get to record. I think they're kind of changing that offering soon, aren't they? I think they're calling it Meet or something. And it's changing. And if you've got a G Suite account, you get various different functionalities. But yes, it's probably on your phone. Certainly, it's on my phone, and you can just strike up a conversation really quickly.
You can also record them YouTube videos with it and be published directly to YouTube if you want to record your conversation.
That's cool, Lance. We've been through a list of a whole ton of things. What I'll do is I will put in the description below this little video all of the things that Lance has mentioned, and you can go and check them out at your leisure. So for you, the Chromebook is working. You're not going back to the PC anytime soon?
No, I do still have a PC for some occasional video editing and stuff like that, and to use them local by Flywheel. I use
Okay.
that on a PC, and some IDE stuff. Editing them, I use Visual Studio Code for that.
Yeah, I think that's where your limitations are, isn't it? Basically, your IDE, although there are things like Eric Ham's Instant IDE, I think a lot of people struggle, but video editing, audio editing, those kind of things are still difficult to do in a browser. But give it time, I'm sure it'll come. And if of course you use the Chrome Remote Desktop or TeamViewer or something, you can sort of have a go at those. I don't know how successful you'd be with the latency of video editing on remote desktop, but yeah, it might be worth a try. You never know. And then, of course, if you save the output files into a Google Drive, which is syncing automatically, it'll just come wherever you want it to go straight away. So thank you, Lance. That's really cool. Really appreciate you coming on and telling us all about your Chromebook adventures. Maybe somebody will have a similar experience, or maybe they've never even thought of doing this and are looking for a way of getting into it. So go and check out the links underneath. And thanks for coming on, Lance. Greatly appreciated.
Thanks.